Are you anxious because you don't think that you have, attained the weight that you desire? You've been trying to lose weight and you can't get it out. You have got some belly fat and you can't wear your belt anymore. What are you anxious about? You are anxious about how you look. What are you anxious about right now? And I'm curious. I just would like to hear 2, 3 people on what are you anxious about right now? Are you anxious about your hair? I used to wear all the weaves, the beautiful weaves that look good. And the one thing I would never do is allow myself to have kinky hair. I love my kinky hair now. My daughter said, Mama, you are done with these weaves. We want you natural. Now it is the season for looking natural. So I was taken to the salon about 4 years ago. And for 1 week, I had to put all those manduli, to tie, because I was even afraid of being seen without hair. And now everybody tells me, oh, I love your hair. Give me the number of your hairdresser. What are you anxious about, girls? Tell me.
Some people are anxious about parenting. I've seen local business ending up alone and no children, sickness, can't lose weight, career progression, weight, financial freedom, juggling more responsibilities, being married without happiness, body falling apart, marriage, able to commit, fear of uncertain times, into a teacher's role, with this online learning.
Yes.
Up to my parents' expectation of graduating.
Yes.
Things.
Okay. Now, I want you to know that there is nothing wrong with fear or anxiety. Absolutely, there's nothing wrong. As a matter of fact, a little bit of it is good because it pushes you to the level that you need to move. For example, you are feeling a bit anxious and fearful about an exam that you are sitting at next month or at the end of the week. You are feeling a bit anxious and fearful. Absolutely great. Because of the fear, you will push yourself to study. You will wake up early. You will sleep late. You will push yourself to study. And so a little bit of adrenaline as a result of fear or anxiety is very good. But when it is in the excess, then it becomes dangerous. Look at those beautiful girls. Aren't they cute?
Very beautiful.
Yes.
All these girls,
yes.
You fall somewhere around these girls. And each one of them struggles with something called body image. Girls are always struggling with body image. I want you to say to yourself, I am enough. Doesn't matter tall, flabby, doesn't matter that you're short. Just go buy yourself some platform shoes and you can get the height that you really need to. It doesn't matter what you have. What is important is to enhance what you already have, but not get so stuck up about your looks. You are beautiful beyond description, too marvelous for words. I remember as I grew up, those days we used to have, the skin lightener that at that time was called Ambi. You were not born then. And I would see, that was, my mom used to love to use that Ambi and just sort of get a lighter skin. And I was among the most darkest people within my friends' circles. And I always felt that I wasn't beautiful because I was dark. And one day I met a man who could not get over just what a skin, he thought that I was flawless. And he gave me a name and called me BB, Black Beauty. And let me tell you, since then, I realized that I'm not actually bad looking. I am BB, I'm black and beautiful, and I embraced my color. Sometimes you just need to meet someone who affirms you so that you stop feeling that there's something that is wrong with you. I was about the tallest girl in my circles, and I wished I could cut my legs to be a little shorter because I was too tall. Oh, do I love my height? My goodness. I step out in my high shoe and you cannot help but notice Jennifer Karina because she has the height. And yet it is something that I didn't like about myself. I want you to embrace whoever you are and just know you are beautiful beyond description, too marvelous for words. If you're a gentleman and you are on this call, I know you've been trying to get yourself a six-pack. Let me tell you something. Don't you worry about a six-pack. We'll love you anyway without a six-pack, and we'll work out your belly fat as we go to the gym. So don't you worry. You are good just the way you are. Allow me. Isn't she cute?
Mm-hmm.
This is you when you are young. And many of our issues as girls do not come because we are now adults. They begin when you are a little girl and they begin to affect you. So your image of yourself is as a result of who your caregivers were, what they said about you, how they treated you. And so you developed your self-esteem, or you didn't develop your self-esteem as a result. So you've been looking for this man that can tell you how beautiful you are, and you've not found one. Or you have found one that tells you, I think you need to work on your belly fat. I think you need to do something. I mean, so many people do so much. Even as I am saying that, I'm reminded of a young woman that passed away earlier this year who had gone to do a boob job. You know, my breasts are sagging, they are not good. So she went to do a boob job, and unfortunately things didn't turn out too well, and she passed away. Let me tell you, your inner beauty is bigger and greater than whether or not your breasts are firm, whether or not your thighs are firm, whether you have stretch marks or you don't. Let me tell you, you're great. And so, as a young girl, and you begin to grow, you could also have been abused, but feel that you are dirty, you feel that you are not worthy, you feel a lot. These are called gremlins. Gremlins that speak to you in your ear. Voices that tell you that you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not intelligent enough. And as a result, your interpretations, perceptions, and limiting beliefs affect your view of yourself and your world. Oh, beloved, what are your gremlins? Write it down. What are your gremlins? What is the voice that comes to you in your ear to tell you that you are not good enough? Look at yourself in the mirror after we are done with this call and say, mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of us all? And you will say, moi. I do that to myself. That's why I'm hot. I believe that, number one, you should live a full life. You should live purposefully. You should live purposefully. What's your purpose? You should live purposefully. Number two, you should love passionately. Number three, you should thrive unapologetically. And why unapologetically? Because we have a way of wanting to have a level of humility even when we are succeeding. And we are even afraid to succeed, lest we are noticed. I want to tell you, put your light on the table, not under the table. You are having mental health issues, dysfunctions, anxieties, stress, because you are afraid to succeed. So, question is, can you break through? I will tell you this. And maybe allow me just to tell you this, because you might just say, you know, this Jennifer Karina, she's somewhere in everything. Whatever you are trying out, I have already tried, and I know. And one of the things that, whoops, I'm 20 years old. I was actually in my 19 going to 20. And what happened is that in those days, it's not like today where you have children out of wedlock. It was a no-no. And so the husband's father was with a gun on his head. You made that girl pregnant, you got to marry her. And so at the age of 20, I walked down All Saints Cathedral, tan, tan, taran, tan, tan, taran. Will you take this woman to be thy wedded wife? Yes. And I got married. But what I didn't know, I was jumping from the frying pan into the fire. I was too young. My trying out really caused me a lot of problems. And so I was not functioning, I think, for the first 10 years of my marriage. And at 30, when I came to the turbulent 30s, I was, give me another man. I'm done with this one. I'm so done with this one. Now, was I of good mental wellness? Absolutely no. I cried every day. I wanted to die. I wanted to kill myself. I had 3 children. 3 children by the age of 23. I had 3 children. Are you hearing me? Now, as a result, I really went through a lot of dysfunction. But I had to come to the realization that I'm not gonna die, and I'm not going to give myself into somebody else. And I was expecting that my husband was gonna make me feel good, treat me great, and make me the most happiest woman alive. And I am saying this with a lot of respect and apology. He didn't. And as a result, I knew that the best way is to find me another one, so that at least I can be happy. But I thank God to mentors. And I'm saying to you on this call, if you don't have a mentor, find one. If you don't have a coach, find one. If you don't have a therapist, find one. If you can find all those qualities in one person, you'll be doing very well, because you need somebody to talk to keep sane and sober. Otherwise, it's very easy to lose it, because life doesn't always give you what you are looking for. Now, what causes us a lot of dysfunctions, and can you break through? Allow me to say that one area of importance is work. Are you happy at work? On a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being the least satisfied, and 10 being most satisfied, where would you rate yourself at your occupation? What are you doing? What are your talents and your abilities? What is it that you are doing? Are you feeling fulfilled in whatever it is that you do? If you are not, I think I would say personally, I stayed for too long in a job I just dreaded for a long time. Yes, it's so that I can have the money, but it is time for you to begin to think, if you're not in a job you're enjoying, if it is below 5 and you're at 3 or 2, concerning what you wake up to do every day, I want you to know before too long, it's going to start causing you discomfort to the level of anxiety, and you're going to lose your mind because you're waking up to do something you dread on a daily basis. So be real, be truthful to yourself. Where do you rate yourself when it comes to your occupation? Intellectual. Where are you? And allow me first to talk to the people who are A stars, people that have done it, people that have gone to school and that have graduated with honors. One of your greatest challenges can be that you do not think that you are smart enough, regardless of your achievements. Are you one who always sabotages their path because you don't feel smart enough? Is your gremlin always overcoming you because you don't think you're smart enough? Now, that's a sabotage, and it is actually a mental health issue. It is a mental health issue because you sabotage yourself each time, and it's called an imposter syndrome. Are you having an imposter syndrome? The gremlin that speaks to you and tells you on a daily basis, you are not smart enough. You are not intelligent enough. So you don't push yourself out there. You don't apply for a job that you very well deserve, simply because you are afraid, because you think you will not be able to perform. On a scale of 0 to 10, rate yourself. Where are you at? Do you have the guts to say, I am good, I am great at what I do? I want you to know there is no Jennifer, Karina, and nobody can match me in this world, because I have been a researcher for over 2 decades in the topics that I deal with, and I believe I am the best there is in the world where it is my area of expertise. Do you believe it? Or do you feel that you are being prideful when you say you're good at something? If you fear saying you're good at something, I want you to know it's a mental health issue. Physical, yes. What are you doing about your physical body? We just talked about this when we saw the girls, and we all saw that we are built in different shapes and sizes. Doesn't matter your shape or size, you are beautiful beyond description, too marvelous for words. You are fearfully and wonderfully created in the image of God, and you need to embrace yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am enough, I am good. And where you need to work on, become very intentional. You want to lose a little weight, you've been sitting at home and you have not been doing any exercises, I want you to know that you shall begin to read your looks 10 years to come. If you think I'm looking good in my 60s, it's not because I've been working out in my 60s. I'm reaping what I did in my 40s and in my 50s. And now, for my 70s and 80s, for me to look good, I'll not invest then, I need to invest now. So you are not investing now for immediate results. And that's where we go wrong, girls. We want to immediate gratification. We want it here and now. So just remember, as you are really working out, and I really liked what Selam said, that, you know, when she's working out, she's got the picture of her family right there to say, I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for another press up, yes, because I want to be there for you when I'm a grandmama. That really resonated with me because I love my children. I love my family. I want to be there for them. I want to see to Sekile. This is the first daughter, granddaughter. She's 10. I want to be in her wedding. And I want to wear my hat and wear my high heel and look good. But to do that, I really have to work out. So what's your focus? What do you want? Are you just working out to catch a man? Aha, that is wrong. You need to be working out to you stabilize where issues money are concerned. Girls, if you are one who's looking for a rich husband, kudos for you. If you are one that says, me, I want somebody to take care of me and keep me, grant me favor, kudos. But I want you to know you're looking at a self-made girl. I was brought up and raised to be independent and not dependent on anybody, but to know that I can create my own wealth, that I can grow my own wealth, and I can preserve my own wealth. And let me tell you, why should I not be the one that is the giver? Why should I be the one that is laying my hand every day? Your husband is asking you, that hand, it will break. Putting it on my face every day that give me. You need to know that economic empowerment is the greatest gift you can give yourself. If you are fully supported, a clap to those who are supported. But this is the pain point for many, that I have no money, I am not given money. What can you do to be able to be financially independent? Even now, if you are being sponsored, you need to be able to know how you can use that money to invest it. 10 years later, if he throws you out, you will still be financially secure. Out of that, girl, you're gonna lose your mind. I know a girl that I went to school with who was in a fantastic relationship. I mean, the husband was just the best, so I thought. In 10 years, after 10 years of their marriage, the husband found somebody else and divorced her. And as a result, she had nothing. She had no money, no place to go, no home, and he didn't even give her the privilege of collecting her things from his house. And this is basically what happened. She eventually became dependent on substance abuse. And that is one of the, and so she talks today and supports other women so that they can learn to be financially independent, to avoid a situation where you will lose your mind. This one is the one that will cause you to lose your mind totally. You will drink yourself silly, you will go on substance abuse because your anxiety levels have gone full blast, because you've got no money and you have been used to a luxurious life. Learn how to invest so that even in your old age, if this man decides to marry a younger woman, you will not be left without food. Are we talking, girls? Yes. Emotional. Wellness is part of mental wellness after having the baby. You need to be very careful about how you're feeling. Are you feeling hopeless, useless? Are you crying a lot? Are you feeling destabilized? It's not just about the fact that you've gotten a baby. It could actually be that you are having postpartum depression. And that you need to discuss with your doctor and not take it lightly at all. How are you feeling? Are you feeling positive? What's your energy? Are you radiating negative energy? There are two kinds of energy. One energy that is great is called anabolic energy. It is motivating energy, fueling energy, moving energy. Right now, what energy are you feeling? Is it anabolic energy? Or is it catabolic energy? Catabolic energy destroys your cells and cuts them down. And that is as a result why you find yourself having opportunistic diseases, because you lose out on your wellness and event of catabolic energy is very, very high. Social wellness, you know, it's been said earlier by the speakers that you know, Rebecca talked about how you connect. She feels better connecting with others. And this is very important. Social wellness is very important. Where are you on a scale of 0 to 10? 0 is least satisfied, 10 is very satisfied. We are taking measurements in these perimeters so that at the end of this call, you will be able to look and say, I'm doing great. I'm on average, or I'm doing so badly, I need to reach out for help. Family, social, friends. Who are your 5 friends? Somebody say that you are as good as the 5 friends that you have. And that's a topic for another day. And so where are you at? Spiritual wellness. Do you reach out to your spiritual maker? How do you connect with your spirituality? This is absolutely very critical. Where are you at on a scale of 0 to 10, where spirituality is concerned? Beloved, what's your environment like? Are you happy with your environment? Is your environment pleasing to you? If it is an environment that you're not comfortable with, it is going to affect your mental health. And so you got to work towards ensuring that your environment is good. Health and safety is a big one in terms of the workplace today. And now home has become the workplace. So how are you doing it? Do you have enough lights? Are you stuck up in this room with Zoom calls the whole day and you're not able to see any greenery? It's going to affect you. Are you able to connect with some level of environment at the end of the day, just to see the grass, the trees, the nature? You got to take a walk and just be able to experience nature for you to keep your mind sober, sane, and well. And so, girls, are we doing good?
Yes.
Wonderful. Now, why is it that we really get affected and our anxiety levels grow? Now, before I forget, can you rate yourself? Occupational, 0 to 10, where are you at? Intellectual, where are you at? Physical, 0 to 10, 0 being the least and 10 being the highest. Financial, where are you at? Emotional, social wellness, spiritual, and environment. Now, somebody called Abraham Maslow has talked about the hierarchy of needs. When we talk about the hierarchy of needs, it's basically as a result of just growing to self-actualization. And one of the reasons that we really get anxious is because our needs are not being met. Physiological needs, food, shelter, air, that I know you have no problem with. Safety and security. Are you in a safe environment? Do you have a home? Are you taken good care of in terms of that? If you're not, then you need to begin to think about it. Are you living with your parents and you feel you are stifled and you're thinking about moving out? It's all right. You can live in a one bed-sitter space and be happy. You don't need to live in a mansion. It's a question of where do you make your home. But a lot of people struggle in the third area, the yellow one, love and belonging. Are you having a sense of belonging? Have you found the love of your life? And you get absolutely dysfunction seasons. And if the season hasn't come, you shouldn't just, overindulge in your anxiety about this. All you need to do is write down 5 things of the person that you would like to meet. Write them down. I'm single and free to mingle. And I want to find a great man that I can spend the rest of your life with. But all you're saying is, I just want to find somebody who can love me. That is not it. 5 things. And out of those 5 things, 3 now begins with dissatisfaction. When any of these areas you are not feeling content and satisfied, then it creates a level of stress and anxiety. And when it creates stress and anxiety, basically what happens, your brain's reaction is to that is it alerts the mind of the potential danger. And then as a result of the potential danger, a couple of things happen. And then these are the anxieties that you suffer. Generalized anxiety, panic, you find people that get panic attacks, social anxiety, specific phobias, and separation anxiety. Also, the loss of somebody. You may be having a loss of a loved one. That can also cause you a level of depression. There's situational issues in terms of a situation that you have gone through, an environment that you have had that is not very good, occupational, all those things that we talked about can cause you a dysfunction. When the perimeters are between 1 and 4, it can cause you a lot of anxiety. And then when anxiety goes beyond, it becomes now any of these. And when it becomes this, it progresses to depression. And when it progresses to depression, if it is untreated, it then progresses to another level of psychosis. Now that is mental illness. When you do get psychosis, it's not depression anymore. It is now a mental health disorder. Mental health disorder, and it needs to be treated by a psychiatrist with medication. And so, what is your role? Your role is to ensure that your stress and anxiety levels do not go too high. So this is what you're going to watch out for. The potential stress reactions. You begin by getting angry. Actually, you can even be angry because your girlfriend has bought a new car. You are jealous, There's nothing wrong with being jealous. But if it's going to bite you to the level that you become dysfunction, you should actually, when you admire your girlfriend, you should be thinking, oh my goodness, I got to work harder to be able to achieve. So doesn't matter what situation you're in, if you find yourself angry, then it's something that you need to watch out. What causes you anger are different things. It could be your relationship. And I want to tell you, if you're in a toxic relationship that you've been putting up with because you don't think that if you leave that relationship, you'll find another one. I want to say to you, it is better to leave a toxic relationship than to be seeing a psychiatrist because of a mental health disorder. It happens all the time. And many times when women are going through mental health, it always is about somebody else, their mother, their girlfriend, their boyfriend, their husband, their children. What about you? Who cares for you? You got to care for yourself and say, I am not going to do this. Anger comes in 2 ways. There's internal anger and external anger. When you experience internal anger, you find that you will take a knife and start cutting yourself. I see a lot of clients who you cut your wrist, you cut yourself, you're bleeding. They are taking you to hospital because you inflicted pain. That pain that you are inflicting, it's called internal anger. It is you, and and that's how they commit suicide as well. But if it is somebody who's always beating, who's always crashing, who's always insulting, who's a passive-aggressive abuser, then it's all about anger. Now, what happens after that is that you feel very guilty, and as a result of feeling guilty, you become helpless, you feel hopeless, then anxiety knocks in, voila, depression begins right there. So do not take these feelings lightly. If you are experiencing any of these emotions, these are red flags to watch out for. And when you do that, you'll be doing yourself a great favor. Now, many women get an amygdala hijack. And this is something that you experience more often than not. So be true to yourself and check this out. Now, when we talk about your levels of emotion, there's that bean size right under the cortex brain gland that is called an amygdala. And this is the one that plays with your emotions. And that is, if you are one woman whose emotions are always uncontrollable, then you just know that your amygdala is affected in this way. It is as a result of high levels of anger, fear, disgust, hate, frustration, or it could even be high levels of love and whatever you are experiencing in high level. So it affects your brain in this manner. Now, amygdala hijack refers to a sudden or intense, and this it is an immediate reaction that is often followed by a realization that it was really inappropriate. You just begin to, your belly starts filling up with water, your heart starts beating very fast, you start sweating, you're feeling so mad, and when you do that, you have a sudden reaction. If you do that, just know that you're having an amygdala hijack, and to be able to manage it, if you start feeling that you're beginning to heat up, you're beginning to feel water in your belly, your heart palpitations are coming, this is what you do. You take a deep breath. Can you take a deep breath right now? Breathe in, hold it, hold it, hold it. Breathe out, breathe, relax, breathe in again. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Breathe out. One more time, breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathe out. Wonderful. Don't you feel relaxed? Now, if you feel an amygdala hijack coming, just know it's going to take control of you, take control of your emotions, and whatever you will do will actually be something that you will regret about. I'm reminded of a young woman who had an amygdala hijack, and she got so crazy. She just got a kitchen knife and she put it through her husband's stomach. She broke 3 of his ribs and she just missed his heart. He was hospitalized and he didn't die, but she was very, very broken. Question is, what do you do when you get an amygdala hijack? It's insanity. You don't even realize that it is insanity. You just say, when I am mad, or you have a husband who always gets an amygdala hijack, and you say, when he is mad, he breaks everything in the house. Have you broken something in the recent past? Have you held a glass with your hand and it has broken in your own hand? That is an amygdala hijack. And you just need to be true to yourself. It is a mild mental disorder as a result of an emotional hijack. Now, this is what happens when that stress goes overboard. You begin to have high levels of cortisol. And cortisol is one that affects you. You are wondering why your skin ain't good? It is because of your high levels of cortisol. You are wondering why you are fatigued and you don't feel like getting out of bed. irritability, headaches, helplessness, hopelessness, anxiety, depression, stomach problems. You've been trying to lose weight, you can't lose weight, and you are still gaining instead. It's because your cortisol levels are very high, your weight loss. If you're one that gets amygdala hijacked many times, you can actually get your cortisol levels measured through only your saliva by your doctor the next time you visit. Now, you get increased blood pressure. Aha, are you wondering why your libido is down? That's when he ever tells you, honey, come baby, come, or babes, whatever he calls you. Then you say, not tonight, you are not in the mood. The reason is simple, your cortisol levels are so high, you can't get it. You know, so what is it? It actually affects ovulation. You are trying to get a baby, you are not able to get a baby simply because your cortisol levels are high. You are having erratic menstrual cycle. It comes once in 6 months. Try to relax and see what's going to happen. You can't sleep at night. Yes, it's because of your cortisol levels. They are so high. Are you oversleeping? It reacts also in that way. So beloved, I simply want to say to you, if your relationships at the office are not working and with your peers, check out your cortisol levels and be sure how your cortisol is behaving itself. Your relationships are not working? I don't know. You just need to know that you have to do something, girl. It's got to work. Relationships are important. Relationships are thriving. I have one man that I have loved for over 45 years, I think, because this year I'll be married for 43 years. And I can tell you it gets better by the day, simply because I am very intentional about it. What are you intentional about in terms of your relationships? Now, that are the menus of your possibilities. You've got to be intentional, all right? You've got to be aware. You've got to listen to yourself. Self-care is not about others, it's personal. It's not about the rich, it's about every individual. It's about listening to your heartbeat. You've got to go for psychotherapy where it's important. You need a peer group support in terms of, at the end of the day, I had Rebecca say, I can't remember the name, but they have that thing. To us, it's like a chama, maybe. Somewhere women get together and they debrief. You know, sometimes you just want to talk and you want to air what it is that you're feeling. So do you have to go to a son who have one girlfriend, I call her my tonic. And when I'm low, I just say, I need my tonic. And we have a cup of tea or lunch or just take a drive and talk or go for a walk together, and I feel so good. And by the way, I just know, if you're wondering how I've kept so youthful, I have young friends, all right? So they put youthful energies in me. So who are your friends? You know, you need friends in all diversity, so you know the one to pull out for different reasons. You want to go shopping? I know the one I pull out. I want to feel good. I want to dance. I know the one I want to call. So what are you doing? Relaxation techniques like the deep breathing we did, whether it's yoga, meditation, visualization. I love visualization. You want to go have good health, mental health? Visualize success. See it. Have a vision board. Put it. Take pictures of what it is that you want and have them on your wardrobe, on your fridge, wherever you want to have them. All right? And buy yourself a notebook. A journal is very important to be able to journal your journey. Buy yourself a journal. If you are close to me, I would have bought you one and given you one. But I want you to know that a journal is very, very, very important so that you can be able to journal. Adequate sleep, exercise, hobbies. You've got to sleep your 8 hours, drink a lot of water. You have to have your 8 glasses of water every day. This is a season, during this COVID season, is very dangerous to abuse alcohol. And it is very possible because we are just staying at home. So check yourself out. Are you drinking too much? Are you reaching out to that drink all the time? Have a structure and a routine, but most of all, stay positive. I choose to have anabolic energy. Anabolic energy is not my portion. And when it comes, recognize it. Now, self-awareness is the ability to take an honest look at yourself without attachment of being right or wrong. Just take an honest look and be self-aware. It's not about being right or wrong. Look, I would say go onto the internet and look for something called the Johari window. You will do an exercise that will give you self-awareness. You will discover your blind spots. You will discover who you are. We could have done it, but I know that we don't have the time. My final thoughts, beloved, recognize your abilities, adapt. You need to adapt, acknowledge, adapt, recognize the season, all right? The normal stresses will always be there, but make a contribution that is positive in your home, in your communities, in your work, in your lovers, and with everything, with everybody. And remember to live purposefully, love passionately, thrive unapologetically, because you deserve it. This serenity prayer, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. And so, beloved, all I can say that it is now your time. It's not tomorrow. Your time is now. I'm not starting tomorrow. If you want to start something, don't plan tomorrow. Say now, what are the first steps I'm going to start doing? In terms of my physical, you have rated yourself at a 5. You want to get to a 6. So that your plan is, I need to get to an 8 before the end of the year. What are the small steps? And give yourself some goals that are smart goals. You're smart girls. So you have everything to be able to live an amazing life. Just go for it. All right? Live an amazing life because you deserve it. You've got all the tools to be able to do that. And so finally, this is all now my family with all my two grandchildren. Now they are bigger. This is a 2-year-old photograph. And so is it three actually? Yeah. So these are the 3-year-old photo. And so they are running around. They are actually out there in my compound. So after this call, they wanted to be with me for the call. I said, this is girls only, and you cannot come here. So I'll join them immediately after I am done with you. And this is basically what happens when you make a choice that is intentional and deliberate. And when Selam is saying that she looks at that photo of her family, now I want to tell her, add through visualization the grandchildren's image in there, so that you will become more powerful in that which you are intending. I am intending to participate in all these children's wedding. I am intending to participate in their graduations. I'm intending to participate in their life. So I ain't going nowhere. I am sticking here, and I'm going to be of sober mind, whether my husband is good to me. And let me tell you girls, your husband, your boyfriend, your lover, you whatever, will never give you what you want. You can only get it for yourself. In my 42 years of being married, I discovered that early enough that if I'm going to wait for that drop-dead gorgeous man, can you see him there with the chain coming from his shirt? That one there in the middle, that's my drop-dead gorgeous man. And that man was incapable of making this woman happy. I had to discover how to make myself happy. And when I became a happy person, he followed me. I guess he used to run because I was lethal. I was very lethal because I was angry, bitter, upset with life, thinking that he's the one. But everybody loves people that are happy, that are contented, that are going somewhere, that know what they want. And so for me, has no choice but to just fall in love with me every day because I'm lovable. Are you lovable? And so, beloved, this is a commercial moment. Marriage Built to Last, Healing Beyond Betrayal, and some other books that I have written that you can check out. And so, there we are, and that is it. So I want to say, so if you have any question, email, that's my secret in life, affirming others, then you begin also to recognize how to affirm yourself. And so, beloved, with that, I'll be happy to take any questions, even as you bring them on.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for such a wonderful session that you had. Selam was taking the questions. I would kindly ask her to give us 3 questions because of time, and then we can have like 2 participants who can talk to us and just say something before we log out. Selam, please give Jennifer 3 questions.
Okay. One of the questions that were asked are, you know, we are having people from 2 different cultures, and so probably that's one question. What are the consequences of a forceful marriage?
Oh, well, the consequences of a forceful marriage is one, it can be very detrimental to both parties who are not ready for it. But you see, now it's all about culture. And I guess I was a victim of the cultural relevance of the tradition of the season that I served in. If it was not for God's favor, I think I could have died, because I was in a relationship that had not been planned for, and that that my then husband was not ready to be a husband, and I think I was too young as a woman. And so I would say, never be in a relationship that you don't want to be in. Doesn't matter. But then if culture calls for it to be that way, there are always ways of coping by being able to find help and support, you know, from therapists who can help you be able to do it. Actually, what saved me in this is that when I went for a counseling session as a very young woman, and I really loved my therapist and the experience that I got out of it. And because of that, I signed up for a counseling course. And because of signing up for the counseling course, I did it so that I can heal from my own pain. And eventually what happened, I couldn't stop. I did certificate, diploma, degree, master's, PhD. I did everything in terms of psychology. So what basically then happens is that your own pain then can actually become your gain. So my pain translated itself to become the gain. I've done many things in my life, but I've never been known for what I do in terms of healing relationships. And I heal relationships not from an idealistic perspective, or even while I have studied this extensively, I also heal from my own knowledge of brokenness of what I have gone through. And so if you are forced to come together by tradition or culture, it's not the end of the world. You will still make it, but you need more support, social support and psychosocial support.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Most people have, when we hear the word therapist, or a counselor, or a coach, or we kind of imagine, you know, what is the difference? First of all, what is the difference between a mentor, a coach, and a therapist? Because if I say I'm going to see a therapist, like in shock, are you going to see a shrink? Or what is going on? You know, because people have different.
Thank you for asking. What happens is that a therapist provides you psychosocial support in terms of dealing with the pain of your past, so that they can bring you to the present. A coach just takes a glimpse of what it is. They don't do therapy. The therapy is about working on the past pain that is causing you dysfunction. That's a therapist. Now, a coach holds your hand and takes you to your dream, where it is that you want to go. So as you sign up with a coach, they are not going to go through the therapy unless they are a therapist and a coach, and also use eclectic. A mentor applies basically their experiences, their knowledge, and are able to not only direct you as a coach, but be able to also use their networks and their knowledge and infuse that in you. And so when you can be able to get a mentor coach, it works very well. A coach never tells you what you are supposed to do. They ask you hard questions to make you think about what it is that you want and where it is that you want to go. But they'll never give you answers. But a mentor will give you answers. They'll give you a roadmap based on their experience and their knowledge.
Okay.
Yes.
That's very clear. A question that is related to that: most people are afraid of going to see a therapist because
yes. Yeah, I actually have never liked to. Even when I began, I studied psychology and I began out first as a counselor, but I have never called myself so. I called myself a relationship coach, even before I had studied coaching, because I felt that it's more pleasant, a relationship coach. Then I went ahead and I studied coaching, and so I became legit. And now I am a counselor, and I prefer to call myself a psychologist. I'm a psychologist and a coach. I'm a psychologist, a coach, and a mentor. All those things. Why am I a mentor? Walked the journey, been there, gone through working from management to board level. I've served at board levels in many organizations. If a woman wants to be able to grow, I have the ability, the networks, and the connections to help her grow in her career. So we do career coaching, we do relationship coaching, things like that. So it is very important to, when you're looking for a coach, to be very clear about what outcome you want from the engagement.
Wow, thank you. A lot of getting in touch with you after this. I'm sure we've shared your email address. Most of the questions are asking about whether you are available to do this kind of thing for them.
Yeah, we do online, actually. We do online Zoom coaching, therapy, whatever. Well, and I think the advantage that I found in doing coaching and also studying mentorship is that I'm very eclectic. I use an eclectic method, and I just believe that the individual needs to just grow holistically. So whatever it takes for the individual to be able to be served in a holistic manner. And I have a team. My organization is called Anchor Relationship Network. I have a team that I work with, and so we can support you if you need any support. But most importantly, I want you to look at yourself in the mirror today and say to yourself, I am enough. I am enough, because that is the greatest challenge of women. You always want others to affirm you, and particularly the men in your life, to make you feel that you are enough, but just know you are enough. Is that prideful? No. Is that, are you going to be, is that humble? You will ask, am I being humble? If I'm saying I am enough, I will only tell you this: it is called personal care. It's called self-care, because what you say, as a man thinketh, so is he. When you think you are great, you will be great. Muhammad Ali used to say, I am Muhammad Ali, the greatest. And believe me, as the boxer, he became the greatest. I am Jennifer Karina. I am the best psychologist and coach you will ever find. Only me can tell myself, and I become. Are we together?
Yeah.
Fast families.
Yes, I'll hand over to Nancy. Mama,
Right.
Jennifer, thank you, Selam. There's a question about a woman being the breadwinner, and there are, of course, some challenges. And lady asked how
Yeah.
do you encourage your husband to become greater and do great things, you as a woman being the breadwinner? Then the next question, Rebecca asked about, if you were given a chance, would you do something different?
Let me put it this way. I wouldn't do anything differently if I was given a chance. I wouldn't do anything differently. And I'll tell you why. The benefits of having those grandchildren when I am still young, yeah, I wouldn't have them.
Yes.
I had them as a result of getting married young. So if I had to redo it, I wouldn't change it. I would still do it. Number two, this drop-dead gorgeous husband of mine, after the years of his childishness, grew up and realized actually marriage is a good thing, Jenny. I thought that he used to say, I'm thinking that it was going to kill me. This is so good, I'm happy. I'm sorry I said that I'm not going to. He had told me, you know, after the wedding at All Saints Cathedral, he removed the wedding ring and he gave me back the wedding ring. See, you wanted to get married. Me, I'm not married. And I want you never to ask me where I'm going or who I am going with. And that was right outside the church. Now, which woman will not go crazy after something like that?
Oh.
The thing is, I discovered in my first few years of marriage that I was a codependent. A codependent is somebody who sucks their energy from the other person. Please love me, please love me, please see that I'm a good person. So you are wasting all your energies focusing on another person liking you. So I came quickly to realize that it's not about another person. It is about me. And I began self-love. Yeah. Oh, I'm so full of myself. I am so full of myself. I could not. That's the one thing I would change. That when I start all over again, I'm going to be so cool that you will have to be dealing with this cool mama, but not that one who's crying every day, looking for somebody's affection, attention, and appreciation. I am enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not, I wouldn't change the man, I wouldn't change the time, but if I were to talk to a younger woman, I would tell them, please don't commit suicide by getting married in your 20s. Wait at least to be 25, all right? It's very, very challenging. Wait to grow up a little more, at least be 25 years before you say, I do, because marriage is for a lifetime. But if I had not done that, I would not write the books I've written on marriage, and you'd not invite me on this platform. So mine is called divine appointment. So this is a calling for me, and God had to put me through the fire. What is God putting you through right now? Are you hurting? That pain you are experiencing is your ministry. So find yourself somebody to unpack that pain for you so that you can begin to embrace it and live it and be able to now start packaging yourself for the years that are coming, because bigger things are ahead of you. So pain will come whenever God is preparing you for a journey.
So, and how about the question of being a breadwinner, and how do you...
Being a breadwinner, really, I'll tell you, that's a big problem today. The girls are really blinging. They are the ones with the money. They are the ones with the jobs. They are the ones that have more of the money. And so it has actually become a threat to the man. Now, there are two things I will say. It is expected. It is expected, and it is the normal tradition that a man should be the prophet, the priest, the provider, and basically provide the vision and direction of a family. But we all know that it doesn't always happen. And sometimes as the woman is more empowered and she becomes the breadwinner, it's very important to be able to allow the man to shine, even as you are the breadwinner. And in allowing the man to shine, it's sort of giving him an opportunity to have an ownership in his journey. And because what basically happens is that if you don't allow him in, he's going to abuse you. If you don't allow him in, he's going to feel neglected. But most importantly, it depends on whether is it that he's not having a job because he is not qualified, or he doesn't want to work or find a job. So what I have found very helpful, because this has actually become an epidemic. So what is very helpful is to match that man with a successful person who can mentor them, be able to just have a journey of life. So if you are a woman who you have a man that is not picking up his position, look out for a couple that you can befriend, so that you can have a social network of a man that is very successful and can speak into the life of your husband, because he kind of needs encouragement. Number two, I have also found that when a man doesn't have a job, they go through a depression, and their anxiety levels can become a depression. So you'll just find a man who is sleeping all the time, who doesn't do anything, who's lazy, who's not productive, but the truth is he's depressed. And so you need to be able to identify that. Will you continue being the breadwinner? You will, but you need to be sure you are investing in the right person. Are you investing in the right person? You are the one who knows your man. If it goes beyond your understanding, I say we also do couple sessions and coach and mentor and train them. So you could also check out a coach where you can do even a finance coach who can support you in that area. The worst you can do is stay in the house and just think that that is how life is. That's not how life is. A man is supposed to take his position.
Thank you, Jennifer. This is the last question, but before we go to the last question, we have one of the best women trainers. She's called Joanne. She's with us here, and she trains at Alpha Fit. So if you're in Nairobi and you need a personal trainer, I train women, but I'm in Addis currently. But when I'm back in the country, you can join me. But you can look for Joanne. She's in Alpha Fit on Gong Road. So this is the last question, Jennifer.
Yes.
Marie, she's Rwandese. She's asking, can you share with us 3 secrets of contentment? Then after that, we can find out.
All right. Contentment is an attitude that you develop over a period of time. Are you content? There are so many things that you would like to do in your life in terms of all the perimeters that we have shared, from physical to environment. And you might find that there are areas that you are totally dissatisfied about. Learning the secret of contentment is acknowledging it's okay not to be okay. number one. It's okay not to be okay. You don't always have to be perfect for you to be okay. You just recognize that that even in your weakness, there is strength, because there's something that you will learn. Even in your weakness, there is strength, because there is a lesson to be learned. So it is accepting. Number two, to learn the secret of contentment is to be also able to reach out to others that are less privileged. I tell you, if you can just go and visit an orphanage, children that don't have parents, they are very less privileged. So, take all the old clothes that you don't like anymore and say, I'm going to a home, and you go and sit with them, eat with them, you will come out of there feeling, my God, what have I ever thought when I'm thinking that my life is not good? So to be able to have that level of contentment, you must interact with somebody else who is in need, all right? And finally, to be able to be content, you need to dial your spirituality, you need to evoke it and have a conversation with God, who will tell you you are fearfully and wonderfully created, who will tell you, I know the plans I have for you. They are plans for good and not for evil, to prosper you, to give you a future and a hope. I know you to be contented. You will need to get that maker that will tell you, fear not, I am with you. So you will feel that you have somebody with you in this journey. And also, finally, you need an accountability partner. An accountability partner is somebody that you can dial to that tells you the truth about who you are. I sometimes call them a grounding friend. Do you have a grounding friend who tells you as it is? And so they will be able to tell you as it is, and you will be able to find, voila, you are balanced. And then once you're balanced, you recognize you have actually learned the secret of contentment, because life is about self-actualization. But to be fully actualized, you will be 6 feet under, because life is about actualizing from one level to another.
Wow, wow. You're full of wisdom, and I'm so grateful that you've taught us this day. I've learned a lot. I would have mentioned each and everything that you've said, and because of time, we are not able to do that. So I would want to appreciate you, Jennifer, for allowing to be on this platform. Thank you, Selam, for allowing to be here as well, and thank you, Rebecca. And this is to all participants. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope that was very useful, and that was you've had something to take away home. So thank you for sharing your email addresses as well. We are going to share the recording by evening or probably by tomorrow. May you have a great weekend, and during this COVID season, may we continue to pray that God will still be in control. So take care of yourself and stay safe. God bless you. So Rebecca, Selam, and Jennifer, and everyone, are you allowing me to end the session?
Yes. Can I say one small thing? Sorry.
Okay.
Well, I just wanted to reiterate what Jennifer has said. I mean, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. I just want us all to say this together, because this is very important for us as women to know. And should we, get into any doubts, this is a very good verse to say to ourselves. So let's just all say, I am fearfully and wonderfully made, together, before we end the sessions, if you allow me, Nancy.
Sure.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, go.
3. I am fearfully
and wonderfully
made.
Thank you, Rebecca. Selam, do you have anything to say? Then we can wind up.
I'm just excited that everyone was able to go in and Jennifer, thank you so much for lighting us up. Excited, and I am happy that I am enough, and I'll keep saying that. That's one take that I have, and thank you, Nancy, for taking your time. You guys don't know that, but Nancy has been very passionate about this, and when I met her, I told her, Nancy, you can do it, you can do it. So I'm very happy that she's done this thing, and I'm excited about what we're gonna do even in the future. Sign up to her email address and then her Instagram, her Facebook, and you're gonna be seeing great things coming up. Follow her on all those social media platforms, send her an email, and you'll get the video also. So keep in touch. We look forward to seeing you all. Rebecca, thank you for joining us. A big shout out to all the Ethiopians who joined in. I'm so proud.
Yeah.
So excited to see all those names, you know. Thank you, Rebecca, for inviting your guests and my guests. I mean, everyone is here, and so we are so grateful. Before we end, I want to apply what I learned. My husband is here. Thank you for
Mhm.
I think I saw Rebecca's husband too. Is he somewhere there?
Yeah, he was, yes.
We're enough. We're great women. Thank you, Mama Fitness Kenya, for this meeting. Really appreciate it.
All right, thank you
Great.
so much. And to the participants, we had paid a premium for only 100 participants, but I'm so overwhelmed with so many questions, people asking me on WhatsApp and on my email why they're not able to log in. So God willing, in our next event, we'll be able to have the other premium Zoom that is more than 100 participants. So that's an apology you can pass to the others. God bless you and have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.